Live from the campus of Boise State University in Idaho's capital city, we have a Big West versus Mountain West showdown in women's basketball on this Sunday afternoon from ExtraMile Arena. Welcome inside the arena with my broadcast partner, Angela Taylor, former two-time national champion at Stanford and WNBA executive. I am Mark Snyder. And Angela, when you look at this matchup, these two teams know each other well. This is the fourth all-time meeting against the Riverside Highlanders and the second in a row on this home floor. When you look at this matchup, on paper, the numbers would seem to favor Boise State, but can't overlook Riverside.
You cannot, but what you don't see on the box score is the confidence for which these Broncos play at home. They're really good at home, tough to beat. And before they head on the road to play in the Virgin Islands, they want to stay in that winning column. But they're playing against a tough UC Riverside team that plays with a lot of confidence as well, and they are much better than their record indicates.
Riverside coming up a loss Friday at the University of Idaho in Moscow. They lost a close one this year to 3 points to Arizona, so they are a force to be reckoned with. And when you look at this Riverside team, one of the key players is the transfer from Northern Colorado, Seneca Hackley. 10 points and 3 rebounds against the Broncos last year on this floor.
Seneca Hackley keys the Highlanders' attack on both ends of the floor. Hackley loves to get downhill off the dribble, both in transition and the half court. And she wants to get the rim, but she can shoot that nice floater over the defenders. Averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. Hackley also is really aggressive at the point of attack on the defensive end and can space the floor from the three-point line.
On the other side of the floor, the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West, Tatum Thompson. Hard to believe the senior from Woodinville, Washington, is a senior, coming off a 24.8 rebound effort in the win against Seattle University.
Tatum Thompson is truly living up to the billing for this conference. She was preseason player of the year in the Mountain West Conference. She's now leading the conference in scoring with 17 points per game and 5th in rebounding with 7. An explosive athlete who's best off the move or in transition and relentless on the offensive glass. Tatum Thompson truly elevates this Broncos roster.
Boise State and UC Riverside set to match up here this afternoon. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip. And welcome back inside ExtraMile Arena as we get set for UC Riverside and Boise State. The Broncos being introduced. They line up this way for their veteran head coach, Gordy Fresnel, in his 21st season at Boise State. Tatum Thompson, Danny Bays, Maya Hansen, and Natalie Pascoe, the 4 Keystone seniors. And they're joined by Libby Hutton, a sophomore from Perth, Australia. Heather Sower, Carrie Ann Ramirez, Mike Petrino, and Jackie Robinson are the assistant coaches for Boise State. And it's interesting when you look at a senior-dominated lineup for Boise State, and this group has been together a long time.
Well, and what that means is when you have a tough loss on the road like you did against Colorado, where the Broncos simply did not play well, your veteran leaders, your seniors know how to get you to bounce back in that next practice, in the locker room, and when you're traveling back to Boise.
Brad Langston in his 3rd year at UC Riverside, Kaylani Polk, Hannah Wickstrom, Taylor Swanson, Bria Shine, and Seneca Hackney. The starters, Natasha Smith, Llewellyn Huff, Najee Murray, and Lorenzo Griffin are the assistants for the Highlanders, who come in at 0-4, but coming off a good season last year, making it to the second round of the Big West tournament. They were 17-15 last year and 12-5 in the Big West. Our officials this afternoon, Steve Belknap's the referee, Jess Martinez and Jacob Finn are the umpires. Boise State in the gray jerseys, breaking out the gray uniforms with the orange trim. Good-looking unis, and Riverside in the black. And Tatum Thompson has it to start the game for the Broncos.
Great floor spacing already by the Broncos.
Pascoe has it stripped, gets it back, turns, missed. And the rebound pulled down by Riverside. Hannah Wickstrom from Melbourne, Australia, the sophomore. Swings it out to Hackley, and that shot off the mark, and Hutton with the board for Boise State.
That's exactly what Hackley wants to do, put the ball on the floor and attack the paint.
They leave Hutton alone. She gets it out to Danny Bays. Bays making her 62nd career start for Boise State. Down low for Hutton. Good ball movement. 10 on the shot clock. Hutton cut off nicely by Shine. Doesn't get it to drop. And Hackley, the grad transfer from Northern Colorado, gives it up to Polk. Kehlani Polk pulls it out for Shine's three, which is perfect.
Shine shot that ball with a lot of confidence. Did not even hesitate. Quick catch and shoot in transition. Boise State's going to have to make sure you come out and defend Shine in transition.
Turnover, Swanson with the steal. Cut off nicely by Thompson, preventing the transition basket. But now the Highlanders will set things up.
A lot of motion in UC Riverside's offense.
Polk. The cutter is Wickstrom. And that one curls in, and the Highlanders with the early lead.
Well, the sophomore playing with a lot of confidence, was the leading scorer in the last game.
Hutton doesn't get that one to drop, and Shine with the board. Intercepted, though, by Boise State. That's Maya Hansen, and she is fouled in the backcourt by Hackley.
That was a good idea by Riverside. They do want to push the tempo when it's there. That pass, Boise State has done a nice job knowing that they need to get back in transition. In the first couple of possessions, Boise State is getting back in transition, making those passes difficult.
Maya Hansen with her 78th career start, 94th game for the Central Catholic High School from Billings, Montana product. Again, another one of those seniors that has led this Boise State team to a 4-1 record this season. And Maya brings the ball up the floor. Thrust in the point guard role this year. She spins, fires, doesn't get it. Offensive rebound, though, by Danny Bays.
It's one of the things that Bays does so well. Is active on the offensive glass. You have to turn and box her out.
The runner by Pasco, front iron only. Loose ball picked up by Thompson, and she is fouled on the reach.
If you see Riverside early on, you're seeing that Boise State is sending 3 or 4 players to the offensive glass. You're going to have to turn and box out. Boise State already with a couple of offensive rebounds.
Broncos have missed all 5 of their shots so far. And before the ball's inbounded, we have a foul called against the Highlanders. That's their 3rd. Maya Chicano from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the junior, checks in. Thompson left that one short, battling for the rebound. They're going to get Tatum over the back. A foul of frustration more than anything.
It really was. That was one of those makes that Tatum usually makes, and so you know she was a little frustrated that it didn't go through the rim, but it's really good on that second jump on offensive rebounds.
Broncos starting out 0 for 6, kind of reminiscent of the game at Colorado where they just could not buy a bucket in that first quarter. And there's a steps on some good defensive pressure by Boise State. And I certainly don't want to equate Riverside with Colorado, but the start is about the same, sluggish.
Well, and consistent for the last few years, this coaching staff for Boise State has talked about we need to get out to better starts. Right? We're taking care of the ball, executing offensively, and getting defensive stops. And in their losses, they typically get out to slow starts.
The cutter to Hutton, Pasco, swings it out. Down low to Hutton, backdoor cut to Thompson. Underneath, double teamed, and a whistle. And a 3-second violation on Boise State. So nothing going right for the Bronco offense right now.
And you see, neither team is in the flow of the game just yet. There's been a lot of fouls early on. There's some turnovers. Looking for a little bit more continuity.
Danny Bays called for the reach. Doesn't understand that one. Mountain West Player of the Week when she had 31 points against UC Davis.
Well, see Bays trying to reach in and deflect that pass. It's one of those things you're going to have to make an adjustment to how the officials are calling the game. So Coach Langston out at half court getting his team's attention.
Tried to bring Maria Mejia in, but referees would not allow her to enter the contest, so they'll go with Shine on the far side, guarded there by Hutton. Swings it on top. This is Stanton now in the game, Aaliyah Stanton, junior from Cal State Fullerton. The rebound gathered in by Tatum Thompson. Riverside will press. That's one thing the Broncos need to respond to. Underneath, Tatum Thompson on the nice feed.
Great job by Libby Hutton running the floor and getting position on the low block. And with that paint touch, created that wide open layup.
Quickly the other way on the secondary break, Aaliyah Stanton.
You see Riverside on a make, getting a layup. Boise State, again, is going to have to get it back in transition.
Danny Bays has it stripped and stolen away. Wickstrom comes down with it in the backcourt. Bays with the steal.
The first of many times on the floor for Danny Bays.
Maya Hansen, war number 1 last year, switched to 14. There's Bays, spots for 3, left it short. Hutton fights for the rebound, but Wickstrom pulls it down. Broncos now just 1 of 7 from the field.
Good defense by Tatum Thompson.
Taken away. Here comes the Broncos. Pasco, hesitation, floater is an air ball from the baseline. Stanton back the other way. She'll fire. Doesn't get it.
And now the tempo, right? It's some quick shots from both teams. And now we're looking with Coach Presnell to just get in the half court and get Maya Hansen to get the team to execute a play.
Down low, and we've got a whistle. Just muscling it up and drawing the foul was Hutton. Shine called for the foul. Bria Shine from Sacramento, a transfer from UC Davis. She will take a seat.
Riverside's going to play behind in the post, so Libby Hutton's going to have a lot of opportunities to go one-on-one on that low block and make a quick move before help side comes over or someone digs in from the wing.
Libby Hutton, 60% free throw shooter on the season. Good with the first. Libby, the 6-foot sophomore, at 15 points and 10 rebounds against Eastern Oregon and 13 points in the win against Seattle University. And she will sit, and we will see Mason Borcherding, who's been quite a revelation. The freshman from Parker, Colorado, has played well this year.
Borcherding has really done some really good things in her minutes. Great rebound, really physical at the point of attack, and a nice job in the post.
Wickstrom outside with the dribble. Bays on her. Set up for Stanton. Deep 3, draws nothing but air, but Thompson can't corral the rebound, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll have a timeout. UC Riverside in the early going with the lead as Hannah Wickstrom chose the left hand, and the Highlanders are up by 3. This is the 4th all-time meeting between the Highlanders and the Broncos. Boise State leads all-time 3-0 and beat Riverside 72-57 on this floor last year, just about a year ago to this time. Highlanders will inbound. Stanton gets it up on top to Chicano. Back to Aaliyah Stanton, the junior.
Riverside needs a good possession. They've had 4 turnovers in their last 4 possessions.
And Pasco with the rebound. Brings it up under Stanton's pressure. Natalie gets it out on top to Borcherding. And Mason back to Tatum Thompson, directs traffic. Danny Bays wearing the sleeve on her right arm with a pad on the elbow as she drives in the lane and gets in traffic. Thompson twisting corkscrew baseline for 2.
Nice dump off by Bays on that pass, and Tatum Thompson just able to elevate over the defender closing out.
Boise State 2 for 10 from the field. Fortunate to only be down by 1 as Wickstrom can't get that one to drop, and Bays with the rebound, and surprisingly Boise State could take the lead with this possession. Borcherding under the basket though has it stripped by Stanton. Tough pass for Boise State. Then outside the 3 bounces once, no for Chicano, and there's Borcherding with the rebound. She averages almost 3 a game. Pasco, 2-man game with Borcherding. That one, though, is off the mark, but she will follow it up and get to the line. Good effort.
And that's one of the things that the coaching staff has talked about with Borcherding. Sets excellent screens on the ball. A nice job setting a screen and then rolling off of it right here. You see great contact, a quick roll, great footwork, great hands, and then able to create some contact and get herself to the free throw line.
Fouled on that first attempt, not called. On the rebound, got the call, and she goes to the free throw line. 67% free throw shooter with a chance to tie, and she does.
One great example of how you earn minutes. It's the little things. It's not lighting up the scoreboard, putting a lot of points on the board, but it's doing the little things, screening, defending, getting great rebounds, being really physical defensively. And that's what each team is doing.
Doesn't show up in the box score necessarily, but the coaches certainly see it.
Yep.
Boise State up 1 as Riverside weaves their offense around to Bria Shine. Gives it up to Taylor Swanson. She'll fire for 3 and rattle it home.
Nice shot by Swanson. The defense went behind the screen on that, left her wide open at the three-point line. She's someone that you don't want to go behind the screens on.
Breaks a 5-shot scoreless drought for the Highlanders as Borcherding at the top of the key. Little trouble to dribble. Otherwise, she would have had a clear path to the basket. Had Shine beat, but Shine gets the rebound. This is Kehlani Polk quickly into the forecourt. Out of Compton's Paramount High School.
Much better closeout on Swanson.
Taylor Swanson forced to give it up with 10 on the shot clock. Good defense by Boise State. Swanson will try the long 3. That's off the back iron. And then it'll be Riverside's ball as Maya Hansen, the last one to touch it.
Nice job by Stanton of staying around on that defensive rebound. Hansen wasn't necessarily paying attention and aware that the defender was there.
In for Boise State, Morgan Maldonado, freshman from Anchorage. Sees her first action of the day. Shine with the move, drives, missed the shot. Offensive rebound is knocked free. Stanton gets it out to Polk. This is Swanson. Drains her 3rd triple.
Swanson only shooting 27% from the three-point line on the season, but here early on in this ball game has had 2 good looks.
Ball to the Broncos.
Riverside
Riverside's ball.
Riverside on a 6-0 run over the last minute. They've done a nice job executing offensively, taking care of the ball, reversing it, and getting good looks.
For Boise State, now into the lineup, Emily Howard making her 2nd appearance. Her debut for the Liberty transfer was against Seattle. 6'5" junior from Vancouver, BC.
Brings great size to this Broncos roster. I know they're excited to have her on the floor.
They call the offensive foul on Swanson, so that turnover gives the ball to Boise State. One of their last 7 from the field. And Maldonado and Thompson bring the ball up. Swanson picks up the defense. Pasco weaves it. Bays. Low post cut to Pasco. Beautiful play.
Excellent ball movement by Boise State and a fantastic cut to the basket by Pasco.
Thompson, an underrated passer. That was a good look for the 2. It's a 3-point Riverside lead, and Danny Bays knocks that one out on the far side.
We saw the great ball execution offensively from Boise State. They have 3 assists on the 3 field goals made. And again, great defense by Bays getting in those passing lanes, but nice on-ball defense by Maldonado.
Mejia to trigger the inbounds to Stanton. Aaliyah Stanton into the corner, gives it back up to Mejia from Mexicali, Mexico. And that's what 6'5" does for you. Taken away by Emily Howard.
Really tough to throw over the top for someone who's 6'5".
Thompson aggressively to the hoop, draws the foul. And that's Tatum's game. Take it to the basket with aggression.
Tatum Thompson is at her best when she's out in transition. Great job by Emily Howard right there. Putting her hands up, high hands, and then Tatum Thompson one-on-one in the open court is really difficult to guard.
Stanton with the foul. And now Polk checks back in for Stanton.
This is where Boise State usually starts to get back in the game and chip away at any deficits they may have. Is getting steals or deflections defensively and getting out in transition.
Broncos the best free throw shooting team in the conference. 5 players are shooting 90% or better. And Tatum Thompson just under that at 81%. And she splits the pair. Howard battles for the rebound, but it's pulled down by Geneva Sila into the game, the French prospect, or product, I should say.
Nice job closing out by Danny Bays, forcing that extended pass.
Outside is Stanton. 11 on the shot clock. This is Wickstrom. Baseline cut off. And a steal by Maldonado. Maldonado has it blocked. Good recovery by Swanson to block that layup attempt.
It looked like it was a wide open layup, but let's talk about that. Started on the defensive end by Emily Howard, cutting off the baseline, and that allowed Maldonado to jump into the lane like a free safety.
Izzy Harms, the freshman from Eugene's Willamette High School, checks in for Boise State. Pasco, catch, fire, hits.
Two excellent screens getting Pasco open on that out-of-bounds underneath play. Now Boise State on a 6-0 run, starting to see the ball go through the basket.
They lead by 1 as we are under 15 seconds in the first quarter. Maldonado outside on Polk. Shot clock off, 5 seconds in the quarter. Polk will challenge the big Howard, missed it, and that layup is no good. It's after the horn. And after 1 quarter of play, it's a competitive first quarter. Boise State struggles from the field, but not so much Natalie Pasco. Her triple gives the Broncos the lead after 1 here in Boise. Well, despite their 0-4 record, the Highlanders have been in most of their games this year, each of their 3 losses by less than 10 points. That was before a 14-point loss against Idaho last Friday up in Moscow. Highlanders with the basketball, down 1 now to start the second quarter. This is Polk on the outside. In the corner, Wickstrom left open for 3, skips off the iron. Thompson out-duels Swanson for the board. Nice rebound by Tatum. Broncos look to extend the lead. Outside Pasco. High post Thompson. Howard down low with the left hand. It doesn't go.
Nice move, great offense by Boise State right there. Again, Howard one-on-one on the low block. She's going to have that opportunity, and you can tell she can go over either the right or the left shoulder.
Swanson outside, guarded by Pasco. Wickstrom outside to Mejia, and she hits the jumper for 3.
Riverside is at their best when they have ball movement. They're creating a lot of open threes due to the ball movement and nice screening off ball.
Mejia's first triple of the season gives the Highlanders a 2-point lead. Pasco cut off on the baseline. Thompson, free throw line, up and under, doesn't get it to drop. Mejia, quick outlet pass for the Highlanders. Wickstrom down low with 2.
Wickstrom finished that off, but that was not great spacing on the floor in that transition.
5-point run by the Highlanders has them up 4. Frustrating this Boise State offense. Pasco spots for 3.
Nice job by Pasco, getting the defender off of her, like with a little fake cut to the block, and came back out for that wide open 3.
Shooting over 58% from 3 from the season. Foul down low. Pasco, her 107th game today, her 68th start for the Broncos. As you see this one again, the foul underneath on Maldonado. And now Hansen, Hutton, and Orcharding check back in for the Broncos.
For Riverside, they're 4 for 9 from the 3-point line, shooting 44%. What that is doing is opening up the floor. There's a lot of spacing on that floor that's creating these opportunities for the perimeter players to flash backdoor or to cut and flash in front of the defender, which is what Wickstrom did on that previous play.
Wickstrom, just a 50% free throw shooter, misses the first. Splits the pair, so she's true to form.
Little token full court pressure.
I'm surprised that Riverside has not pressed more. They did that on this floor last year, and the Boise State coaches expected that to happen. That backdoor cut goes out of bounds. Pasco a little slow to get there. The pass a little out in front.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if coach is keeping it in his back pocket. Right now, you have a 2-point lead, and you haven't needed to do a lot of full court pressure.
Izzy Harms defends against the Riverside guard, and they swing it out to Polk.
Great help side.
And they're going to call the charge against Riverside's Bria Shine.
Nice job by Libby Hutton. On the pass, as the ball was in the air, Libby Hutton sprinted over help side and was there to take the charge. Nice job. It was a close call. It didn't look like Shine had much space to be able to land on that catch, but nice job by Libby Hutton.
And now we see that full court press. Again, not very aggressive at this point.
Pressure.
Swanson the point of the spear, but they get the turnover.
A little token pressure, and again, if you get lazy with the ball and don't put a lot of oomph on those passes, Riverside will get in those passing lanes. That was kind of one of those careless turnovers. It was an unforced turnover in my opinion.
Broncos trailing by 2 on the defensive end, and there's a turnover as Mejia just kind of lost control on the baseline and stepped out of bounds.
When we talk about unforced turnovers, that was another,
yes.
The 9th turnover for UC Riverside. They averaged 19 on the season. I know the coaching staff wants them to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Broncos pass to the high post, knocked away by Shine, but Borcherding recovers. Boise State's offense just does not look in sync today.
Well, credit to Riverside on that, right? It's a really good observation. Riverside's doing a nice job defending.
Hutton draws the foul. She goes strong to the basket. And Libby will step to the free throw line.
Riverside has done a nice job on ball with their pressure and not allowing Boise State to turn the corner on their dribble penetration. And then when they do turn the corner, help side is coming over quickly. Really impressive job by Riverside so far defensively, and that's leading to this 2-point lead.
Stanton and Chicano check back in for head coach Brad Langston. Longtime assistant before getting the head job 3 years ago. Career record of 35 and 33. First one good, and I mean Riverside tends to get overlooked when you think of colleges and universities in Southern California with all the talent.
One of many.
One of many, but he does a nice job. There's an offensive rebound. Borcherding kicks it back out. Maya Hansen off the deflection.
Well, Borcherding, in her limited minutes, already 4 rebounds in this game.
Underneath, Hutton in traffic, and they're going to call it for traveling. Good defense by Shine and Wickstrom to force the travel.
Once again, oftentimes you see as soon as Boise State player catches the ball, they're being swarmed by 1 or 2 players. They need to do a good job reading the defense and kicking it out if help side's coming over.
Harms sits, Bays checks back in, and we have a whistle away from the ball, and they're going to call an offensive foul against Riverside, and that'll turn the ball back over to Boise State. 3rd team foul now on the Highlanders, just 1 on Boise State. Under pressure, they get it out to Hutton. Here's Bays on the right. Fakes the pass, goes in the corner. Pasco spots for 3. That's a little strong, but Maya Hansen follows it home.
Great job by Hansen, and a good read by Danny Bays on that play. Hansen went in for the rebound. Bays got back in transition.
Riverside quickly attacks the Shine outside. Gives it up to Wickstrom. Hannah Wickstrom. Around to Chicano, and a whistle, and she stepped on the sideline. Did Mejia. And the turnover gives the ball back to Boise State. And turnovers now, that is 12 against the Highlanders.
A couple really nice things happened in that last possession. Great dribble penetration and a kick out. The missed 3, Maya Hansen being really aggressive on the offensive boards.
Now a steal by Riverside, and the layup curls in for Chicano.
When we've seen here the last couple of minutes, Riverside is picking up their defense, and that's causing a couple turnovers by Boise State.
And a touch foul on the drive into forecourt. That's the 4th team foul. Boise State for so long, Mary Kay Narrow was your point guard. Maya Hansen was your cursive point guard, but played the 2 guard most of her career. So bringing the ball up under pressure, I think, is something that Boise State's really going to have to work on.
It is, and Maya's doing a nice job. She's averaging 5 assists on the season, taking care of the ball. But it's a different thing when you are facing pressure relentlessly for 30 to 35 minutes a game.
She has the ball now, spins in the lane, has it blocked by Shine. The ball free, and it's picked up by Wickstrom. Wickstrom takes it strong, missed the shot, but the offensive rebound to Chicano, and a reset of the shot clock for the Highlanders. Gordy Presnell, arms crossed on the Bronco bench.
A lot of time coming off the clock.
Stanton fouled after the shot by Libby Hutton.
Or if you're Libby Hutton, you have great size on that play. You can come over and defend just with your length. There's no need for you to create too much space and contact on that play. Force the guard on that particular play, and Stanton to shoot over you and over your length.
Tatum Thompson back into the game for Boise State, and Kiera Thompson, a freshman from Camas, Washington. Her first appearance as Stanton hits the first free throw. Just a 36% free throw shooter for the transfer from Cal State Fullerton. She led the Titans in scoring at over 14 points a game. Started her freshman year at UTEP, so she's in her third stop and converts both.
And has had a really nice floor game today, particularly with Seneca Hackley on the floor with 2 early fouls.
On the double team, Thompson, cross-court pass ill-advised. Lucky it was only deflected, not intercepted.
Yeah, right there. When the defense comes to try to double team you, there's an opportunity to get the ball into the middle of the floor. Right now, you see Riverside doing a really nice job defensively, leading to a 3-point lead in this ball game.
Well, defense is sort of the watchword today, as it's a low-scoring 23-20 lead for the Highlanders, who are giving up 64.5 points a game, but doing a nice job today, and they've held Boise State to just 33% from the field.
Yeah, one of the things that Riverside is doing is forcing Boise State out of their comfort zone offensively. They're not able to have that fluidity that we typically see from a Boise State offense, and a lot of it is coming because they're not allowing dribble penetration.
Tatum Thompson on the handoff to Danny Bays. Kiera Thompson, right wing.
Nice switch.
Guarded there by Wickstrom. And the Broncos do not get the shot away. A shot clock violation out of the timeout, and Gordy Presnell holds his hands out and says, palms in the air, and says, what was that?
Well, Boise State was trying to execute offensively with a little bit more pace on that play, but UC Riverside did not get out of position. They did an excellent job of switching off on screens if somebody was out of position, and then closing out on potential shooters.
Broncos trail by 3 as we're under 4.5 minutes to go. As Shine, tough catch under pressure, doesn't get it to drop, gets her own rebound over Hutton and puts it home.
Well, the triple team came over on that, but Shine was just a little bit too strong on the low post.
Now this is Kiera Thompson, the heir apparent at point guard for Boise State. That's Hansen. Outside, Hutton drains the 3, and that is her first of the season.
Good decision by Hutton, more than capable of making that shot. And Bria Shine came out and did not even put a hand up to contest. So if you're Libby Hutton, you have to take that look.
Chicano strong with that 3 attempt. And Maya Hansen with the rebound. Stutter step dribble into forecourt.
Chicano being really physical with Tatum.
On the drive, Hutton, they're going to call an illegal screen on Boise State. Tatum Thompson.
Tatum Thompson actually got a little frustrated on that play. She was running in a transition, but Chicano did a great job of getting back, and they got a little bit chippy and physical on the low block, and Thompson just gave her a shove. Nice job by the officials of catching that on the weak side.
Thompson with the offensive foul. That is her second of the game.
Well, you don't typically see Tatum Thompson get too frustrated.
No.
She's so competitive, but she keeps her emotions to herself.
She will sit, and for the first time we'll see Kenna Garza, the freshman from Pocatello, and now an offensive foul called the other way as this Cruz got an eye out for offensive fouls.
The whistles are being tested today, and Lucia Moreno-Tallon on that particular play just moved a little bit too much on that screen.
The freshman from Spain with that turnover is Kiera Thompson under the close guard of Stanton, brings it in the forecourt.
Look how far out Boise State is having to initiate their offense.
And that pass intended for Garza goes wide and out of bounds. Borcherding with the right idea. Garza had post position, but the pass was out of her reach.
Right, and Garza was still on the move a little bit. It didn't look like she was ready to receive a pass.
12 turnovers for Boise State. They average just under 20 a game, so this number is a little too high for the coach's liking as that one sails out of bounds, and it'll be Boise State's ball.
Nice job by Borcherding on this play. You saw the dribble penetration. Borcherding comes over and cuts off that penetration, forcing the wild pass.
Nice hands by the Boise State student trainer or assistant there on the bench. Maya Hansen under pressure gets it up to Borcherding. Outside to Bays. Pasco back in the game down to Garza. She works low post, falls back and scores.
Nice fadeaway by Garza, and it's good to see. You saw her teammates getting off the bench. Nice to see her get into the scoring column.
Foul coming back the other way as Stanton draws the whistle against, I think it's going to be Maya Hansen, and that is the case. Garza out of Pocatello High School.
So already a season high for her. Her previous season high was 1 point against Seattle U the other night.
There you go.
Again, a lot of players on Boise State's bench are getting opportunities and moments. Garza doing a nice job in the last 2 possessions of getting low block position. She got rewarded and was able to finish on that last play.
Stanton, a high-arching free throw is not good as Izzy Harms set to check back in for Boise State with 2:40 to go. And we stay tied as Borcherding gets the rebound. Outlets it to Pasco.
Stanton had a little bit of that, like Tim Hardaway knuckleball rotation on her shot.
Exactly. Hansen cut off, guns it in the corner, base for 3.
Nice vision by Maya Hansen on that play. Great cross-court look in the corner for an open 3.
Broncos take the lead, but quickly answering with a deuce are the Highlanders. Now Pasco quickly into forecourt. Garza gets a low post block.
One-on-one.
Backs in with the right hand, muscles it home.
Excellent job of finding her by Pasco. Again, the post players for Boise State are one-on-one on the low block. If they make a quick move, they can score before the double team comes over.
Broncos now with 7 assists on 10 made baskets. Polk. Broncos have turned up the defensive intensity as Wickstrom in the corner. Polk for 3. That rattles off. And Hansen doing her best Globetrotter impression. Falls to the floor but keeps the dribble alive. Underneath, Borcherding with the right hand, a baby hook.
Nice job. Again, both post players, Borcherding and Garza, doing a great job of running the floor, getting to the low block, and pinning and sealing one-on-one on that low block. Boise State 12-2 over the last 3 minutes in this ball game, and it has been because of this great play coming off the bench by Borcherding and Garza, and Maya Hansen making good decisions with the ball. But look right here on the low block, a nice job one-on-one. You have the size, you have the move. If UC Riverside does not send a double team over, post player is going to be able to go.
Broncos have hit their last 5 field goals after really an awful start, 1 for 11 to start this game, but they are doing it, and it's the youngsters who are doing it right now on the floor for Boise State. As you look, Borcherding with 4 points, Garza with 4, Hutton with 6, a sophomore, so good balance scoring for this Bronco team and their biggest lead of the day.
It really is, and you get the sense that as we get further and further into non-conference play, the game is slowing down just a little bit for the freshmen who are all having to step in and play critical minutes.
Out of the timeout, Stanton plays catch with Polk on the far side. Now Stanton guarded by Bays. Broncos turned up the defense, and that's helped them take the lead with a minute to go in the half.
Nice communication defensively for Boise State.
Shine outside. Drives on Garza, kicks it in the corner, and it's turned over.
Again, another good defensive possession by Garza. Moved her feet, close out on Shine on the dribble, but didn't get out of control and was able to move her feet and cut off the paint attack.
Boise State looks to extend the lead under a minute to go. Tight roping the sideline is Danny Bays. She kicks it over, but I think she traveled first.
She did again. Riverside's done a nice job of not allowing Bays or Pasco or Thompson to be able to turn the corner. They're forcing them more east and west, the ability for Boise State to go north and south.
About a 3-second difference. About a 7-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. As Riverside down just 5 here in the first half. Stanton with the dribble, guarded there by Hansen. Now makes a move with 5 on the shot clock. Drives on Garza and draws the foul. Take your pick, as Garza was there, and she is, I think, the one who's whistled for the foul, but coming over to help was Harms as well, as we check this one out again.
This is the second time with the short shot clock, with Stanton with the ball in her hand. We know she wants to go right. If you're coming from help side, you might want to cheat over just a little bit in case she's able to turn the corner and get going downhill.
Aaliyah Stanton rolls that one in, giving her 7 points on the night. Well, on the day, I should say. It is an afternoon game.
Well, Stanton's done a nice job coming off the bench and being the floor general for Riverside, with Hackley on the bench with foul trouble.
Bronco lead is 3, and that cross-court pass winds up in Pasco's hands. Natalie drives, and she will go to the free throw line with 3.6 seconds to go. Stanton now holding her left knee, came down hard on it as she committed the foul. And we are going to get a break as you see the drive, and then she landed on her back, so that knee injury happened during the play, not as a result of contact.
And Stanton grabbed her knee right away, really concerned. You can tell that she's in a little bit of pain, as the trainer and Coach Langston have come out.
You look at this Riverside club, 6 newcomers this season, and then some transfers. Stanton, one of them, along with Bria Shine, coming in from UC Davis. Stanton from Cal State Fullerton. But the attention now on that left knee for Riverside's Aaliyah Stanton.
When you can see the Highlanders bench right there and Boise State's bench, you never like to see a player go down with a potential injury. You're not sure what's going on right now. They're looking to, right now the trainer is testing for an ACL, but you never like to see that player go down, and it certainly kind of dims the energy from both teams.
Kind of sucks the life out of the room, as they say. Boise State picked to finish 4th in the Mountain West preseason poll behind UNLV, San Diego State, Colorado State. And they are trying to live up to those expectations, as Stanton up on her feet with assistance. To like the next game for the Broncos, they will be in the U.S. Virgin Islands for Thanksgiving in the Virgin Islands. They take on North Dakota at the Paradise Jam. I guess if you have to do a road trip, there's worse places to go.
Well, let's talk about this road trip. I was talking to the graduate assistant, Maggie, on this play. And by the way, her mother is watching this broadcast. Mother played for UC Riverside. So who knows where her allegiance are. But we're talking about the team. Boise State is leaving tomorrow at 11 o'clock at night, flying through Atlanta. They get to Atlanta at about 5:30 in the morning, then have a flight leaving Atlanta about 10:30 and getting to the Virgin Islands at about 2:30. I think they'll be much happier when they land in the Virgin Islands than they will be for those 12+ hours of travel.
Exactly, as Pasco's first free throw was long after that extended break. Play for the Broncos, see the world. Greece this summer, and now the Virgin Islands for Thanksgiving.
Right, and some of the Broncos fan base will be joining them on that trip. Again, a great program with a lot of fan loyalty here in Boise.
Polk short from midcourt, and the first half comes to an end with Boise State. It has not been pretty at times, but they rallied in that second quarter, outscoring the Highlanders by 3, and they take the 33-29 lead into the halftime locker room as Boise State looks to extend their overall record at home this season to 5-0. They head down the tunnel, and we head to break with the Broncos leading 33-29 against UC Riverside here on the Mountain West Network. Boise State here at ExtraMile Arena leading UC Riverside 33-29. Mark Snyder and Angela Taylor back with you on this Sunday afternoon as Boise State looks to stay perfect on their home floor, and Riverside looking for their first win of the season and a very competitive first half. Boise State struggled in that first quarter. Angela turned things around in the second quarter, but Riverside, despite the winless record, is putting up the fight we had expected.
These teams are so familiar with each other. Riverside came in last year. They did not win the game, but they played really well. It was a competitive ball game. For Boise State, they have not been able to get out to that kind of nice fluid start that they're used to. And Riverside is shooting the ball from the three-point line. Right now, Taylor Swanson 2 for 3. She's had a couple of open looks. That really opened things up offensively for the Highlanders.
Riverside 4 of 11 from 3, but they have, as Angela said, really opened things up. On the other side of the coin, Boise State able to finally get the ball inside Tatum Thompson. Here, the Broncos shooting 64% in that second quarter, in large measure because they're able to get in the post.
Yeah, Boise State finished that half hitting 5 of their last 5 field goals, and a lot of it came in the paint from their freshmen. So Garza and Borshading did a great job, 3 for 6 from the floor between the two of them, one-on-one on the low block. They both took advantage of their opportunities and added a lot of depth for this Boise State roster. But they didn't get out to an early start. It was 23% from the floor in that first quarter.
We talked a little bit earlier about the preseason poll here in the Mountain West, where UNLV projected to be the winners. San Diego State close behind, followed by Colorado State. There's Boise State, and then the rest of the conference. New Mexico receiving actually more first-place votes than did the Broncos, and Boise State edging them out just by 3 points. Wyoming, Grand Canyon, the newcomer to the league this year, picking up a first-place vote. Air Force, Fresno, Nevada, Utah State, and the Spartans of San Jose State looking to make some noise here in a competitive Mountain West Conference.
6 teams receiving first-place votes, and what that says is that the coaches in this conference think that there's a lot of depth and a lot of parity. On any given night, any team can win a ball game, so that's why it's so critically important for teams to hold home court.
Boise State looking to hold home court. They are 4-0 on the ExtraMile Arena hardwood, and we will have the second half coming up, but we have a special feature which we will talk about as Boise State, the world travelers, and we'll dive more into that as we take this time out. At halftime here in Boise, Broncos up 4. Boise State took the summer trip to Greece. Not a bad vacation to take, but there was a deeper meaning to this, Angela, because Boise State, the seniors got together and put together sort of a motivational slogan for the season. They saw the t-shirts. Talk about how it feels as a team to have that cohesiveness and to sort of have your leaders, your seniors, take charge.
As a coaching staff, when you have 4 seniors who have been here, who are setting the culture, who are extensions of you on the floor and away from basketball, you know that you set the tone. And so the fact that this was a senior-led effort to come up with the slogan built, that this is how things are built. We want to win a Mountain West championship and go to the NCAA tournament, and this is how we expect things to go for those freshmen that are coming in. And we've heard a lot from the seniors saying these freshmen are paying attention, they're listening, they're receptive to the feedback and the leadership that they're receiving. And you know what? You might as well be across the ocean in a place like Greece when you are starting to push forward that effort and that focus on building from the ground up.
As Danny Bay said, we have the foundation, the cement, and all the resources. Now it's about building up from that, built through habits, built in the weight room, built to trust, and built to last. And that's certainly what they're trying to do. Those 4 seniors, Maya Hansen, Danny Bays, Tatum Thompson, and Natalie Pasco. First half numbers favoring the Riverside Highlanders, when you look at field goal percentage, but the Broncos shooting well from long range, just not many of them, and rebounding favors the Broncos.
Early on, Boise State was turning the ball over a little bit too much for Coach Presnell's liking, I'm sure. Those 13 turnovers limited some of their scoring opportunities. In that last 2 to 3 minutes of the game, where they were 5 for 5 from the floor, they settled in a little bit. There's such floor spacing, and they had a great effort from the post players, Fortune and Garza, getting on the low block. Hutton did the same thing, getting on that low block and taking advantage of the spacing that was happening.
Boise State 4 of 6 from three-point range, and that's sort of a victory for Riverside if you hold the Broncos to only 6 attempts in the first half.
Yeah, Riverside is doing a great job of extending their defense and forcing Boise State to try to initiate offense from just inside half court and not allowing them to turn the corner to create those easy three-point opportunities. Boise State has 8 assists on 11 field goals made. So when they take care of the ball, they're doing what they do best, and that is sharing the ball, passing up good looks to be able to get great looks.
3 blocks by Riverside as they really have made that offense difficult for Boise State, as the Highlanders have been much more aggressive. Individual scoring leaders in that first half. It's Stanton with 8, but her ability or her availability for the second half in question as she went down with a knee injury late in that half. Swanson 6, Shine 5, Wickstrom 5, so balanced scoring. You look at Boise State scoring leaders, Natalie Pasco with 9, 6 for Hutton, 5 for Thompson, Borcherding, Garza 4 apiece, 3 for Danny Bays, but Bays and Hansen really not able to get on track offensively yet, but there's still a second half to go.
Yeah, credit again to the Highlanders defense. They're getting out in passing lanes on Bays and Hansen, not allowing them to get those easy looks that we're used to Danny in particular getting in transition.
Boise State up 4 at the halftime break. We have more coming your way if we take this timeout. Live from ExtraMile Arena in Boise. Broncos up 4 at halftime, and Angela, you look at coach's philosophy on scheduling non-conference games to prepare your team for the conference schedule. Well, you look at the way these two teams have scheduled, Riverside and Boise State playing for the second year in a row on this home floor, and you talk about getting scheduled. You go to Colorado, you play in the Virgin Islands. As Coach Gordy Presnell and Heather Sower, who does his scheduling, you look all over for games to get you ready for the conference.
You really do. There's 3 seasons. There's that non-conference play, which gets you prepared for conference play. You want to play a variety of different teams that play different styles. So that prepares you for the Mountain West Conference, which is a gauntlet. We talked about there's 6 teams that receive first place votes. And right now that Colorado game will be great on the road, heading to the Virgin Islands will play a really good North Dakota squad as well.
Boise State to have the first possession of the second half. Tatum Thompson in front of our broadcast location to trigger it in under some full court pressure. Thompson finally gets it across to Danny Bays, and there's that pressure that Riverside can put on you. Thompson, Pasco, Bays, Hutton, and the whistle, and the foul right off the jump by Riverside.
And Swanson got a little bit too aggressive there. Just taking a look, do not see Aaliyah Stanton on the bench, which certainly is not good news for Riverside.
No. Polk, Wickstrom, Swanson, Shine, and Hackley on the floor. Hackley limited in that first half because of foul trouble. 6 seconds on the shot clock as Hutton has that one knocked free and stolen. Here comes Wickstrom. Pass ahead to Hackley. Deflected and stolen. Thompson on the good hands by Natalie Pasco.
Kind of a similar start that we had in the first half with a couple of early turnovers.
Danny Bays says enough of this. I'm going to line up and drain the triple, her second of the game.
If you're Riverside, you cannot leave Danny Bays wide open at the three-point line in transition.
Outside Swanson gives it up to Hackley. Outside Wickstrom, guarded by Bays, drives off the window and scores. Nice drive by Hackley.
Nice finish by Wickstrom on that play. Help side came over by Hutton, but Wickstrom did a nice job of still finishing oversized.
Pasco in the lane, picks up the dribble. Hutton, low post on Shine.
Nice.
Out to Bays, inside, outside for three.
Nice. And that is going to be interesting to see in the second half. If Riverside starts to double the post, as they did there on Hutton, there are going to be opportunities to kick it out to wide open three-point shooters, particularly on the opposite wing.
Boise State with their biggest lead at 8, as Hackley gets it in the corner to Shine, guarded there by Libby Hutton. On top to Wickstrom. Outside to Polk. Kaylani Polk. 5 on the shot clock. Polk stolen away by Natalie Pasco. Good hands by Pasco for the second time here in the third quarter. Thompson all alone missed the layup.
That is a rare miss, and then she got elbowed in the nose by Danny Bays.
Yeah, Wickstrom takes it coast to coast.
A little friendly fire on that, and we rarely see Tatum Thompson miss a wide open bunny like that. I have a feeling the competitor is going to try to make up for it. Nice.
Underneath, nice pass, Danny Bays from Thompson, who I can't tell if she's got a little bloody nose happening. It's hard to see. No, I guess not. It looked for a moment there like there's some blood trickling from her left nostril, but she's okay.
It does look like she's still wincing a little bit.
Wickstrom puts on the brakes outside Swanson. Her three ball is too strong, and Hansen off the floor gets that rebound. Boise State with the ball and their biggest lead. Hutton swings it around to Pasco. Natalie in the lane, goes with the left hand as it's stripped and out of bounds. Good hands by Wickstrom to knock it out of play.
It's one of the dimensions that Pasco has added to her game this year. Last year it felt like I'm strictly a three-point shooter. Now teams are running her off the three-point line, and Pasco is very good at putting the ball on the floor and attacking the paint.
Broncos with 15 on the shot clock coming in. Hutton down low, muscles it up, has it blocked, but she takes it away. Maya Hansen too strong. And the rebound to Wickstrom. Forecourt, Hackley. Swing it over to Chicano now in the game. And Maya Chicano from King's Christian College in Toronto gives it up to Wickstrom from Australia. Lost the handle. Out to Mejia. Good defense by Boise State. Mejia with 3. Something's going to have to happen quick, and Hackley hits the side of the backboard, and a great defensive sequence for Boise State.
Nice swarming defense by all 5 players defensively for Boise State. If they were late on the rotation, someone helped them out. They were getting over screens. They were talking. They were getting in passing lanes. Excellent job closing out on that last shot, forcing the turnover.
Michaela Minshall from Sydney, Australia, checking in for UC Riverside. As Hansen gets the screen from Hutton and hits the mid-range jumper.
That's quite a screen from Hutton. Right now you have Maria Meja still trying to figure out where she is as she got knocked on that screen, but excellent screen that got Maya wide open for the pull-up jumper at the elbow.
Chicano drives on Thompson, who forces her outside. To Mejia, gets the return pass. Boise State forcing Riverside to work a lot of the shot clock each possession. In the corner, turned over, back to the Broncos.
We're seeing early right now. Riverside really missing the guidance and the floor general that Aaliyah Stanton was. They did a good job there in the second quarter getting into their offense because Stanton had the ball in her hands.
Outside Bays, Thompson guns the pass down low for Pasco off the glass.
Tatum Thompson has done an excellent job with the ball in her hands on the wing. That's her 4th assist on the evening for the cutting player. And right now, if you're UC Riverside, you don't want to let this game get too far away. Boise State on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes, extending that lead to a 12-point lead. And a lot of it has been Danny Bays from 3 and Tatum Thompson. Coming back with more good basketball here at ExtraMile Arena.
Danny Bays, the senior from Brisbane, Australia, already has a Player of the Week honor on her side, and she's a big reason why Boise State has extended this lead to 12. She and Natalie Pasco, 11 points apiece. As you saw going to the break, a couple big three-pointers for Danny Bays.
Yeah, Coach Ramirez talked a lot about Bays being the one that was setting the tone for this. This is how we're built culture.
Outside, the three ball is off the mark, well off the mark for Kaylani Polk. And Boise State will get the ball, and now we see that full court press. And this is not token pressure anymore by Riverside. They're looking to change the momentum of this game, forcing Boise State to eat clock just to get it across the timeline, which they do.
Yeah, Riverside's looking to jump in the passing lanes and trap in corners.
Down low, Thompson gets the pass and gets the foul, and we will go to a media timeout. Here with 4:48 to go in the third quarter, the Broncos up 45-33 here in downtown Boise. Boise State up 12 as we have 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Riverside averages 57 points a game. The Broncos nearly 74.5 points a game. And that pace is a little more what we're seeing here in this third quarter.
Yeah, right now, both of these teams trying to get the ball in the paint. Each have 16 points in the paint, doing it in very different ways.
Hansen outside, guarded by Polk. Skids on the baseline, spins it out, finds Thompson. 10 on the shot clock as Tatum Thompson takes on the double team, and they're going to call Tatum for the offensive foul, and she looks frustrated.
Yeah, this feels like Tatum's been a little bit frustrated today. That's her third foul on the afternoon. Again, trying to force it a little bit. She's at her best when she's off the dribble attacking the paint. But Riverside has done a really good job helping on dribble penetration.
I think they scouted her. They know who you have to stop, and others have to pick up the slack as we get a whistle and a foul on Boise State. Or just out of bounds. There we go, just out of bounds.
Yeah, Riverside is making Boise State pick their poison. They're not going to let these four seniors, particularly Thompson, Bays, get the easy looks that they normally get.
Baseline shot, no, but a foul on Boise State. And if that's Thompson, that's 4 on Tatum Thompson. And that is the case. A day to forget so far for Tatum. 2 of 5 from the field, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 fouls, 3 turnovers, and she will sit, and Emily Howard checks back in for Thompson. We were talking with Coach Jackie Robinson. He was talking about how Tatum responded to being on the bench in that loss against Colorado, about how she just sort of stewed over it and took it very personally. You have to think a performance today is not something she's going to want to linger, as she's talking with Coach Robinson on the sidelines right now on the bench.
Yeah, it's such a competitor, but you also sense that being named the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West Conference puts an extra level of pressure, or layer of pressure, on Tatum Thompson as well, as you want to perform up to those standards.
Hutton under pressure, and they're going to get a whistle, and it's a foul called on Wickstrom. And she's incredulous at the call. I think it was Wickstrom. No, correction, it's Chicano who was on the floor with the foul, but you see it again. Riverside turning up the pressure, and that's the foul, I guess, on Chicano, and she will leave to be replaced by Swanson. 20 on the shot clock for Boise State. Some critical minutes here as Riverside turns up the pressure. Bays, Hutton outside. Pasco baseline, spins, left it short. Wickstrom with the board. Outside left, it's Minshall.
Needed a better pass right there. Shine was open at the three-point line, but it was a poor pass.
Minshall guarded by fellow Aussie Danny Bays.
Good defense by Hansen.
Wickstrom wildly into the corner. Swanson for 3, airballs it, and that'll be a shot clock violation against Riverside. Another good defensive stand by the Broncos.
Well, again, over the last 4 minutes, Boise State has done a really nice job defensively in their rotations. They're not allowing Riverside to turn the corner and get into the paint. They're closing out on shooters, and that led to yet another shot clock violation.
No points in the last 4:14 for the Highlanders as Boise State faces the full court pressure. Bays quickly to Hutton. Broncos have the numbers if they want to go. Here's Howard down low. Spins it out. Pasco with the recovery. Natalie baseline right. Little scramble drill here on the offense. Hansen picks it up with 7 on the shot clock. Maya Hansen for Howard in the lane, off the window.
Great hands and footwork in traffic by Howard. That is not easy to do, particularly for a player who has not been practicing very long.
Outside Shine, missed the 3. Took a bump, no foul called against Howard. The Broncos 2-on-1, it's deflected. Howard picks it up, goes with a left hand, doesn't get it, but the follow is good by Hutton.
The post play by the Boise State Broncos today has been fantastic. Nice job by Hutton, following and trailing the play, not giving up on that easy layup, getting the offensive rebound.
20 points in the paint for the Broncos. Minshall, and the pass is fouled as Danny Bays picks herself up off the baseline, and she will be the one whistled for the foul. That is her second. So watch this one again. Got her with the hip. Howard will sit, the transfer from Liberty. Just her second game of the season, and she put in a good 6 minutes, got 2 points.
One of the things that we saw this early on in the season, we thought Boise State was going to be undersized in the post, losing Abby Muse. But in today's game, we're seeing there's much more depth. We have Hutton, we have Borcherding, we have Garza that's coming in off the bench. Hutton doing a nice job. So much more interior depth than Boise State anticipated.
Bays couldn't control the ball on the baseline, so the inbound pass comes to Shine. Corner for Polk, and she drains the triple. Nice
inbound play.
Riverside needed that. Breaks a long scoring drought of over 5.5 minutes.
Really good inbound play. Polk was the inbounder. Sometimes the defense starts to fall asleep on that inbounds pass. She came right in, stepped in, and got the pass.
Bronco lead 13.
Nice.
Tried to hit Borcherding, but it goes over her head.
Again, the high-low passing by Boise State has been relatively good all season long. You appreciate how they're looking for each other, the post partners. That was a great cut by Borcherding. Just a little bit too much heat on that pass.
Hackley checks back in as Polk brings the ball up under the watchful eye of Maya Hansen. Hackley outside, guarded by Bays. Swings it to Minshall. They play the perimeter, and Boise State's happy to let them work the perimeter. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Polk, Swanson, baseline on Hutton, over shot no good. Rebound loose. Borcherding dives for it. The held ball possession will go to Riverside's Highlanders. And now quickly off of Boise State's bench, Kiera Thompson in for ball handling. Checks in for the Broncos. Maya Hansen will get a break with 1:16 to go in the third.
Well, if you're Boise State, you will take the shot clock running down all day long with the 13-point lead.
Back-to-back threes by Kaylani Polk. She now has 6 points.
The same exact play that Riverside ran in that last out-of-bounds opportunity.
Showing some aggression. Danny Bays draws the foul, took it all the way, said enough of this passing, I'm going to attack the 10, and that time drew the foul. And that's the third foul now on Hackley. Chicano on the bench with 4 fouls, Swanson with 3, and now Hackley with 3. Danny Bays rolls that one around and off. 83% free throw shooter. Broncos uncharacteristic today from the line. Have missed 4 free throws. Best free throw shooting team in the conference, and Bays misses them both. The lead is 10 with a minute to go here in the third. Shine. Product of Sacramento, the transfer from UC Davis. Up to Polk. Sophomore from Compton, California. Some serious ball played in Compton. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Polk fires, missed that one. The rebound up high for it is Hutton for Boise State. Natalie Pasco, Borcherding on Shine, too far under the basket, missed that one wildly, and the rebound run down by Riverside. Shot clock off in the final 15 seconds of the third quarter. The lead is 10 for Boise State. Polk. Borcherding on her. Ball knocked free. And that one is blocked at the horn by Kiera Thompson, and the Boise State Broncos take a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter, thanks in large measure to Emily Howard with a tough catch and score inside. Senior Natalie Pasco, co-leading scorer for Boise State today with 11 points. The California product playing a good game today as she has 11 points, a couple of rebounds, and an assist in 28 minutes. And the Broncos, beneficiaries of 9 points off Riverside turnovers in that third quarter, have the 10-point lead as they start the fourth. Thompson out to Hutton. Libby, good overplay defensively, so Pasco comes to rescue them out. Natalie at the free throw line, good pressure by Riverside as Hutton double dribbles or travels in the low post, and Riverside really ratchets up the pressure there.
Right, Boise State is still one-on-one on the low block, but what Riverside is doing is adding more pressure on the perimeter players to make those interior passes more difficult.
Now let's see how Riverside responds. Polk down low to Hackley, and she will draw the foul.
Well, and Riverside is really going to need to get into their offense much sooner than they have been at the end of that third quarter. They had 3 shot clock violations, leading to some easy offensive scores for Boise State on those dead ball turnovers. But you get the sense that they need to get some players, some action, motion going to the rim, whether it's off the dribble or off of some cuts.
Danny Bays with her third personal foul. She has 3. Thompson on the bench with 4. It's a first free throw. Good by Seneca Hackley, Colorado Springs native. Also played at Florida Gulf Coast, where she was ASUN all-freshman team back in 2021. Ball knocked free, but picked up by Borcherding. And now Hutton brings it across the line.
Right, 3-possession game. So Riverside trying to, again, elevate the defensive intensity and create some turnovers.
One final in the Mountain West today. Texas Tech beats New Mexico 82-57. Oregon leading Utah State by 7 in the second quarter in Eugene. We'll get other scores for you as we move along on a busy Sunday. Pasco kicks it out to Thompson. Kiera will spot from there and leave the 3-ball short. And the rebound is run down by Sela. Here comes Polk pressing into forecourt. Bronco lead is 8. Excuse me, is 9. No, it is 8. There we go. Simple math.
It's Sunday sometimes.
Outside to Hackley. Hackley drives and scores. And now the lead is down to 6, a 2-possession game.
Well, that's what Riverside's going to need. Hackley is going to be the player that needs to step up.
Borcherding spins the 3-ball out.
Might have been a little bit of early look for Borcherding in that offense. Up just 2 possessions, you want to get a good look.
That brings Tatum Thompson up off of Gordy Presnell's bench. Polk has made things happen here in the second half, and she has the ball on the Bronco logo. Goes left behind the screen. Kicks it out to Sela. Now the drive by Hackley, and she is going to go to the line as the foul is called on Libby Hutton for Boise State.
Riverside's running this on-ball action at the top of the key, forcing Boise State's help side to come over. And if no one helps the helper, it's allowing that dribble penetration to happen right now. Again, Hackley doing a nice job. And one of the things we talked about in the Open, she is great going downhill, and she gets herself to the free throw line quite often.
Hackley just 1 of 5 from the field. And this is her first free throw. Seneca was perfect from the line coming into today's game. She is now 2 of 3. Make it 3 of 4 as Garza, Tatum Thompson, and Maya Hansen check back in for the Broncos. Hansen down low to Garza. The cutter is Thompson with the left hand.
Great court awareness by Garza. Really impressed with the freshman on a low block. Double came over this time. She was not one-on-one and saw the floor, and Tatum Thompson cutting to the rim.
Reach and foul against Kiera Thompson. 3rd team foul on Boise State. So that will be a factor as we have 7:40 left to go here in the ball game. No fouls yet on Riverside as Polk gets the inbounds pass. Guarded at the top by Natalie Pasco. Tatum Thompson on the floor playing with 4 fouls. She's guarding Taylor Swanson.
I'm just noticing Garza, like great communicator at the post. High basketball IQ on display.
Polk for 3. She's got another one.
Again, that dribble penetration, forcing help side to come over, leaving open shooters.
9 for Polk. Now the press. Pasco at midcourt.
Look for them trap.
Finds Thompson. Tatum. May have dragged the foot, didn't get the travel call. Break for the Broncos. Low post for Garza. The pass is too high and intercepted by Swanson. Here come the Highlanders. Back the other way. Wickstrom for 2. Nothing Thompson could do without picking up her 4th foul, or 5th foul rather. And now Gordy Presnell takes a timeout as Riverside has made this a 2-point game as their defense has turned to offense. Wickstrom with the bucket. It's the Broncos only by 2. Well, the Highlanders out to a 10-2 run to start this 4th quarter. A perfect 3 of 3 from the field, while Boise State just 1 of 3. And it's really been the Highlanders' defense that's fueled their offense, Angela.
Yeah, UC Riverside has done a really nice job of getting deflections. They're now picking up full court, and they're getting exactly what they want. Boise State has been a little bit careless with the ball. And then offensively, Seneca Hackley is doing a nice job of turning the corner and getting downhill.
Full court pressure. This is Morgan Maldonado. The freshman brings it across the timeline. Pressure spot for the freshman. She's picked by Wickstrom. Chance to tie or take the lead for the Highlanders. We've talked about the close games, and there's an offensive foul called on Polk, setting a bad screen.
Yeah, that dribble handoff, sometimes you need to be a little bit more patient. If you have the ball in your hands, you need to set up the handoff a little bit right there. On the little handoff, looked like Polk her continuation into the defender.
Maldonado into forecourt under Wickstrom's pressure. Gets it out to Pasco. 6:20 to go in the game. The Bronco lead once was 14. It's now 2. Here's Garza all the way for 2. Nice pass and a good move by Garza. She's a perfect 3 of 3.
Nice job by Pasco. Help side came over as the defender reached in. Excellent job by Garza cutting back door. Her basketball IQ is on display today as Garza.
Thompson rebounds the missed 3 by Polk. Remember, Tatum playing with 4 fouls, and she is fouled by Swanson. And that'll be Swanson's 4th personal foul. As Bria Shine checks back in for UC Riverside. Also Maya Chicano. And Coach Brad Langston substitutes in waves. Nobody has played more than 27 minutes so far today. Natalie Pasco's logged 32 for Boise State. Garza up top. She'll fire the jumper. It left it short. Her first miss of the game. And on the drive, they're going to call the charge against Polk, and that is her 3rd personal foul.
Good job by Hansen. They're getting back in transition. Looked like Polk tried to do a little bit of a Euro step, but got into her motion a little bit late, and just a better job defensively by Hansen of setting her feet.
That turns the ball over to the Broncos, who lead by 4. Maldonado. And they break it to Garza. Nicely done there as Kenna Garza brings it in the forecourt. Gives it up to Tatum Thompson. Back to Garza.
Good
And
screen.
Pasco. She'll pop from there, around and off. The rebound knocked free, but picked up by Hackley for UC Riverside. And the Highlanders, as we approach 5 minutes, hanging around, only down by 4. Really, the only blowout they've suffered this year was to Idaho on Friday night.
Yeah, their average loss is 7 points.
Thompson with the thievery. Tatum to Garza. Garza in traffic, off the window.
And another nice job by Garza running the floor. Great hands and footwork in traffic as well before she finished that.
Showing why she averaged over 17.5 points at Pocatello High School, leading the Thunder to back-to-back district championships. Wickstrom drives and scores. Again, Thompson, not much she could do defensively without the risk of her 5th foul.
Good decision by Thompson. Right, you have the tendency to actually still be aggressive and play your game, but Thompson needs to stay on the floor.
Maldonado in traffic, wheels and scores off the window.
Put her in a spin cycle right there. Nice move by Maldonado.
The freshman from Anchorage gives the Broncos a 6-point lead as the pace is picked up. Shine outside, guarded by the freshman Garza. Gives it up to Hackley. Riverside looking for their first win of the season as Hackley takes it all away but can't get it to drop. And now Hackley with the offensive rebound, and the clock reset for Riverside. Thompson thought she was fouled on the play. Nothing called. Shine takes a seat. Outside. Wickstrom, quick 3, no. Long rebound, though, to Hackley. Another reset for Riverside. The Highlanders and a whistle and a foul, and I think they're going to get Maldonado with the reach. If that's the case, that's 4 team fouls. No, it's Maya Hansen with the reach. Her 2nd personal foul. As Howard and Bays check back in. Tell you take the ball in down low. It's not for the faint of heart.
It isn't. And want to give some kudos to Garza and Maldonado as they go to the bench. Boise State had a deficit in the 4th quarter, and those 2 freshmen played some critical minutes there the last 2 or 3 minutes to help Boise State get back in the scoring column, making some good decisions and playing solid defense.
Highlanders outscoring the Broncos by 4 here in the 4th quarter as Chicano, guarded there by Thompson, pokes the ball free, and they're going to call.
I think the arena was holding their breath right there because that easily could have been foul number 5 on Thompson.
I didn't see the call. What the call was, maybe a travel.
They called the travel. It looked like Thompson and her contact may have facilitated that travel.
Influenced, perhaps.
Yes.
Into the forecourt, Maya Hansen. The Bronco lead is 6. Poke free, but she gets it back. High post Thompson. Down low for Howard. Emily spins, kicks it out. Pasco, quick fire, and hits the triple. Nice, again, inside, outside to the open shooter.
Boise State's post players have done a really nice job. If they don't have it going one-on-one in the low block, kicking it out to open shooters, particularly on the reversal.
14 for Pasco, her 3rd three-pointer of the day. Wickstrom, challenged by Howard. In the corner, Chicano. Wickstrom, down to 8 on the shot clock. Wickstrom drives, gets past the defense, and draws the foul. Will go to the line. And that looks like the foul is on maybe Pasco with the reach. There, the help defense was a little slow to rotate over as you watch it again.
Wickstrom has done a nice job putting the ball on the floor. Boise State's defense is out guarding at the 3-point line. If you can get past that first line of defense, the lane is wide open.
Wickstrom just a 50% free throw shooter on the season, and she is 1 of 2 there today. She has 13 points to lead the Highlanders as she now has 14 on her 2nd free throw. Bronco lead back to 8. Now 7. Next up for Boise State at home is Cal Baptist. We'll have that one for you here on the Mountain West Network after the trip to the Virgin Islands that unfortunately Angela and I don't get to go on.
I'm still waiting for that email.
Exactly. 2:15 left. Tatum Thompson, an un-Tatum Thompson-like game, but she's been in foul trouble. Sets a good screen for Pasco. Has the ball scored out of her hands. It's picked up by Shine. Shine ahead to Minshaw. Underneath the defense, they're going to call the play to Riverside. She was out of bounds, but a nice hustle there. Danny Bays hitting the hardwood.
That's a signature Danny Bays play. Excellent job hustling back in transition. Almost picked up the steal. This will look like her momentum carried her out of bounds there.
Howard sits. Hutton back in. With 26 on the shot clock for Riverside. I guess the ruling Boise State had possession when they turned it over. There's a 3-ball from the corner again, third time today that Polk has hit him on the inbounds play.
That's the exact same inbounds play. That is certainly something that Coach Presnell, you can see him not happy right now on the bench, going to be talking to the team about.
Natalie Pasco answers with a triple. She's got 17 to lead Boise State.
Natalie is the most effective at the three-point line in transition. If you do not come back and guard her at the three-point line, she's able to take and make those shots.
Double team. Polk gives it up. Minshaw. Wickstrom cutting. Polk will fire again. That one's off the mark. Rebound hits the deck. Bodies flying. Wickstrom misses before Pasco gets the rebound. Boise State defenders all cleared out. Nice block, but nobody went for the ball.
You got to love the box out. That's the first piece, but then somebody's got to go retain the ball.
Boise State and the foul on the Broncos.
And similar play,
Hansen.
similar to what we saw at the other end. On that dribble handoff, sometimes if you're handing the ball off, your momentum carries you into the defender. Right now, you're going to get called for that. There is actually Maya Hansen away from the ball, trying to screen for Hansen.
A minute left. The Bronco lead is 7.
Nice.
And there's a defensive play by Danny Bays.
Great
and
decision.
Smartly brings it out to eat some clock. Didn't have the fast break opportunity. Hutton all alone, but they'll slow it down and milk this clock. 18 on the shot clock, 41 left in the game.
3-possession game. If you're Riverside, you may have to think about fouling.
They have fouls to give. Hansen goes behind the back. She pulls up and swishes the mid-range. 6 for Hansen. And a timeout taken by UC Riverside as Boise State has stretched the lead to 9 on some really smart plays, especially by your seniors. Maya Hansen, Danny Bays knew they had to eat clock, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, that was the worst outcome if you're UC Riverside. Took 20 seconds off the shot clock. You still are not in the bonus if you're Boise State. You have fouls to give, and Hansen gets a nice, easy, wide-open jumper, taking the lead, stretching it to a 3-possession lead.
Halftime in Eugene, Oregon leads Utah State 32-20. Minute 54 to go in the first half. Pepperdine leads San Jose State 38-26. Now with 5.5 minutes to go, Santa Clara leading Fresno State 64-57. Here it's 65-56 Boise State as we're under 30 seconds to go as the Broncos will look to extend their non-conference home winning streak to 20, which would be the longest in the country by a team outside of a Power 4 conference and rank in the top 15 overall. The Broncos know how to defend the ExtraMile hardwood.
They really do, and in these gray jerseys. I believe the Broncos love playing in these gray jerseys. But this is a tough place to play. Great fan base, great support from the Boise community. And these seniors, they understand how important it is for them to win at home.
Boise State, there you see Thompson, Hansen, Pasco, Bays, and Hutton, 4 seniors and a sophomore with a lot of experience internationally. So Gordy Presnell's got some wise souls and wise basketball IQ on the floor.
He does, and while the starters are closing out this ball game for Boise State, there are some excellent efforts from the Boise State bench today. 16 points off the bench, but there was all-around effort by multiple players, particularly some of the freshmen like Maldonado, Thompson, Garza.
Wickstrom, the pull. She'll launch a deep three. Front rim only. Rebound pulled down by Tatum Thompson. Harassed in the corner and fouled. Shine was there, and I think she'll get the foul. And Tatum Thompson, again, this is a game she's going to replay in her mind over and over. Maybe a little tough for her to go to sleep tonight. She's got 7 points and 4 rebounds. But she will not go to the free throw line. It's just the 4th team foul called against Riverside as Boise State takes the 30-second timeout.
Well, these are those types of games that you show your true leadership if you're Tatum Thompson. When you don't have it going in the ball game, when you're in foul trouble and you go on the bench, how do you lead as serve as a vocal leader? 7 points, 4 rebounds, but she also had 5 assists. Extremely unselfish, and that is part of this unselfish nature of the Bronco squad. They have 18 assists. They average 17 on the season. 18 assists today on 25 field goals made, and that is a good sign. And oftentimes that starts at the head of the snake, which is Tatum Thompson being so unselfish and so competitive.
Pasco is fouled on the far side with 14.4 seconds left. "14 points from Boise State's freshman today, led by Garza's 8.
And career high 8 for Garza. Played a really nice game on both ends of the floor. Just notice how communicative she was on the defensive end, calling out sets and plays, and then offensively did a really nice job on the low block.
Natalie Pasco with the free throw gives her 18 points today. She leads all scorers. Broncos just 2 players in double figures. Wickstrom with 15, Polk with 12 for Riverside.
Well, let's talk a little bit about UC Riverside as they run out this clock. This is yet another one of those games that they were in it and they had chances, and before you can learn how to win, you have to learn how not to lose.
Hutton with the rebound, and that's going to wrap it up. And Boise State defends the home floor and wins their 20th straight non-conference game here at ExtraMile Arena with a tough 67-56 win over the UC Riverside Highlanders. Riverside now falls to 0-4, and Boise State improves to 5-1 on the season. Natalie Pasco finishes with 19 to pace Boise State. Danny Bays 11. 8 for Hutton, 8 for Garza. Polk and Wickstrom in double figures for the Highlanders. Boise State wins at 67-56. We're back with post-game interviews and more after we take this timeout. Boise State beats UC Riverside on this Sunday afternoon, 67-56. Mark Schneider and Angela Taylor joined by Boise State freshman Kenna Garza. Season and career high 8 points for Kenna. I was telling her before we came back out of the break, I called her state playoff games at Pocatello High School, so I know what you can do, but you're showing everybody else what you can do.
Yes.
Congratulations on a career high and a 4 or 5 shooting day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely exciting.
How's that transition been from the Pocatello Thunder to here in the Mountain West Conference?
It's definitely been a big transition. It's a lot higher pace and faster, and everyone's good here. So it's like you kind of got to challenge yourself every day to be better, and it's definitely the challenge I look for, and I really enjoy it.
One of the things that's ahead for you, Kenna, and the freshman really is an opportunity to build trust from the coaching staff in the minutes that you have on the floor.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you are thinking about when you are getting those opportunities?
Like proving myself. It's a good question. They talk a lot to the freshmen about making mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes, and I think that's something that I appreciate this coaching staff being here and supporting us through those hard times when we make mistakes. But it's always good to know that they are here for us and they will do anything for us, and that just means a lot. And
well, some of the things that you noticed, particularly in the second quarter and the second half, was post players. You guys were one-on-one on the low block.
Definitely.
Your perimeter players did a nice job of getting the ball into you, and then you guys went to work. What was the conversation with the coaching staff?
We knew that this team wasn't as big as Seattle U, and so we kind of knew, like going into practice yesterday, we worked on one-on-one like post-up, and that was just kind of our big focus, and being strong and being patient and taking our time.
A couple times today we saw the bigs pass to the open shooter from the wing.
Yeah.
You're a good passer.
Thank you.
What is it that you're looking for if you're on the low block and it's not there? How are you seeing a teammate open for a three?
I'm looking for their defender. If their defender's popping down and trying to double team, then I know that my teammate's open, and I trust them 100% to take that shot out there.
Well, you had an assist to go along with the 8 points, a career high. Congratulations, and now you have to pack for a tough trip to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, tough trip.
Take some snacks. It's a long flight.
It is a long flight. I'll definitely have a lot of snacks.
All right. Well, Kenna Garza, freshman from Pocatello, 8 points, her career high here as Boise State wins 67-56. We're back with more after we take. No, we're going to keep it right here, but congratulations to Kenna. And now we're going to get Danny Bays is going to join us here, and Boise State.
Impressive with that freshman.
Impressive, yeah. And well coached, you can tell.
Yeah.
Danny Bays is going to join us with her right arm in a protective sleeve. So Danny, 11 points, but this was not an easy game today, was it?
No, not at all. Very, very tough team. Always have been ever since I've been here. Really gritty, so it was a grind for sure.
They put that full court pressure on late, and that really affected you guys. How did you overcome that?
I think it just takes us, like, unfortunately to say this, but, you know, we have to face it a couple times to know that we're okay. So I think, you know, the first couple times, you know, we'll kind of freak out, and then, okay, we can do it. You know, so I think just staying together and knowing that we can get through it is, you know, that's how we get through it, basically. I just said that 4 times.
Well, one of the things that's been really impressive, we've heard a lot about the veterans, the senior leadership, but these freshmen who are listening, who are paying attention and really paying attention to your guidance, and they all stepped up and played well. We got Garza, we have Borcherding today, certainly the guards who've had some minutes. What are the things that are impressing you guys about these freshmen?
I think as a freshman, the biggest thing is just like not to be scared. And so I think they really did a good job of coming out today and not being in their own head, especially against a team that's really physical. And just like giving it back to them, especially as a freshman, you know, like you're a little bit smaller, a little bit not as strong. So I've been really impressed with the energy that they brought on the court. And I hope they can just like trust the process going through the season.
Well, as you trust the process is really good here at ExtraMile Arena. You guys are difficult to beat right here at home. What is it that makes it so difficult for teams to come in here and get a win?
I think we just like really enjoy, I mean, obviously being at home is always an advantage for any team, but I think we really enjoy playing at home and playing with each other, and it always helps when we're shooting the ball well on your own court. So I mean, that probably plays a factor in it as well, but I like the energy, and we got a good turnout today, so I feel like, you know, it's good vibes.
A bit of a slow start today. 1 of 10, I think, shooting in the early going. Was there a little niddling thought in the back of your head of go, oh no, I've seen this movie before, we get off to a slow start? How do you react and respond and then snap out of it?
Well, probably yes to the whole, you know, you've been in it before, but also you know what to do differently. So I feel like coming together, and it's going to be a grind. Like even against Colorado, you know, that was it. It's going to be a grind every game. It's not going to be one in the first quarter, second quarter, and I think that's something that as a seniors group, trying to have to like learn and show the freshmen that we can do it, you know. But I think just staying together, I think we're a really tight group on and off the floor, and I think that really helps in tough times. Well,
that closeness was built on your trip to Greece, and now you get another trip down to the Virgin Islands.
Yes.
As we were telling Kenna, you know, lots of snacks for that long flight.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that part.
But you're used to long flights, though.
I am. I tell everyone that, but then I'm the one complaining the whole time. So
can you sleep on flights?
No, that's my issue. It's
goodness.
awful. It's so awful.
Well,
so lots of movies.
Hopefully.
Bring the laptop, do homework.
I'm just going to annoy everyone else, and they're going to be like, can you just get off the flight?
What's with the sleeve? Did you bump your elbow? Is that to put a little protection?
I just keep falling on this side. And so now I have this little friend. It's really great.
All right. Well, Danny Bays has to pack for her trip down to the Virgin Islands. Boise State with the win. Thanks. Congratulations. Have fun in the islands.
We'll
see you back here in Boise in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
11 points for Danny Bays. She and Natalie Pasco in double figures. You look at the final numbers, Broncos wind up shooting 48% from the field, 62% from three-point shooting, an outstanding 8 of 13 from beyond the arc. Riverside wins the rebound battle, Boise State wins a turnover battle, and then points off turnovers, Boise State with a big advantage there, 29-18.
Yeah, one of those wins where you had to do all the little things in order to do this. It wasn't the typical Boise State game where they're lighting it up from the three-point line. It wasn't the game where they have two players in double figures averaging 20 points. But it was the little things. And what I was most impressed with was some of the players coming off the bench and really contributing to this win, whether it was points, rebounds, but it was the effort that was on display by some of the bench players.
So Boise State with the win, they now head to the Virgin Islands to take on North Dakota. Our next matchup here at ExtraMile Arena is going to be on December 6th when the Cal Baptist comes to town. We will have that one for you here on the Mountain West Network. For my broadcast partner, Angela Taylor, and everybody associated with the broadcast, thank you for watching this afternoon. Again, a reminder, the final score, 67-56. The Broncos over the Highlanders. Have a pleasant weekend. Mark Snyder from ExtraMile Arena in Boise.